Good morning, guys. So you all have seen the trailer video for The Writer's Journey, and now I am going to jump right into the official vlogging where I'm going to share my writer's insights and my writer's journey. But before I continue that, many people asked me yesterday why did I say I was a one-man soldier on the battlefield. I will answer that question later on in future vlogs, but for now, let me give you my history of where my writing journey all started. It's very funny because I never knew this one little thing called a journal can create something so marvelous. And you know, I am always asking myself every day, if it wasn't for a journal, I don't think I'll be a writer or an author today. So it all started in Standard 3 when my teacher cut copybooks in halves, and with that she passed it on to the class, and in my head I was like, okay, she's mad because why would you cut copybooks in halves and give the students it? And then she further explained that, you know, we are to write our daily thoughts, our daily highlights in those books. And I mean, when you cut a copybook in half, the writing space is very limited. So I would say on an average it may look like this, but more like at this space here, so it wasn't much writing you could do. And I was very confused, but say what, I give it a shot. And it's how Miss used to collect the books. She didn't have much to say, but I was confused. Okay, why are we writing in this? Miss collecting it, is it for maths or whatnot? And one day I asked her, I stopped her from teaching. She was teaching, I think it was science. And I said, Miss, what is the purpose of us writing in these books? You collecting it and that's it. You're not telling us anything. And she stopped automatically and she said, okay, let me explain this further for you. These books with the writing is for me, the teacher, to understand my students better, as well as for the students to know themselves internally and externally. And she saw my face and I was like, I didn't understand what she was saying. And she said, okay, as a student you have likes and dislikes, you have highlights, you have what excites you and all these little things. I was like, oh, I was still confused. I didn't tell her, but now I am confessing that, only to realize later on it was actually beneficial to myself for self-growth and self-esteem boosting. And I continue writing. Even on my vacation time I will be writing a lot. And you know, when I continuously moving up the standards, I shift from half copybooks to whole copybooks. And you know, I continue writing. Teachers never wondered, well, what it is I writing before I left school in that book. And you know, they never questioned it. When I entered high school, I shifted from copybooks because it's only 80 pages. So I shifted to a notebook where it contains at least 130, 150 pages. And I was like, okay, this can get me through the month, and which is even better. And sometimes one notebook will carry me through 2 months. But the thing about it is that I had 2 notebooks, one for poems and short writing, and one for my journal. And from there, you know, I developed this liking for when teachers or some students would say sayings or quotes, and I would soak it in like a sponge, and whole day, the entire day, you know, these little things will be rolling in my brain, and automatically when I go home, once I have enough words to sum up a poem or a piece, I will write it down. And you know, I used to share it with my math teacher, my Spanish teacher, my English teacher, and they thought of my ability to write and to share this information with them was really, really applaudable. And sometimes, you know, they'll be like, all right, your grammar and your punctuation is not wholesome, but your thoughts are clean, because basically they get what I was saying in the words, in the written words, in the pieces. And you know, I put my 100 at Form 1, Form 2, Form 3 in these type of writing. And a day my Spanish teacher sat me down and she said, you have an art, and your art is going to carry you very far. Just keep writing. If poetry is your art, keep writing and you're going to master it. You would not believe how far you can reach. And I was like, okay, I'm going to take this. Even my math teacher, he was amazed, you know, because all he thought he knew about was math. And you know, all these math rules he used to lecture us on. And when he read my stuff, he was actually stunned. And you know, he gave me a very well constructive criticism. And my English teacher, you know, she was the last person I'll go to, and she would be like, all right, out of 10 I'll give you a 6 or 5. And you know, sometimes I'll feel disheartened, but she would turn around and say, you know, I know you're putting your all out here, but don't let my score bring you down. You keep doing what you're doing. And with those advice I got, I developed the notion where take criticism as a positive, but not all criticism is positive. So you need to circularize yourself around people who will give you constructive criticism and not negative criticism to kill your ego. A lot of people tend to do that a lot, and you know, sometimes when you give people negative criticism, it really do kills them. And sometimes it's really not nice, because somebody just wants your insights. Don't shut them down. Maybe show them ways in which, you know, they can expand, or ways, you know, hey, boost this and you can boost that part, and you know, maybe it will sound better. But my whole writing experience has been growing. When we stepped into the age of modern technology, where everything is now available on your tab, your computer, your smartphone, even maybe your iPods now, some of them have apps where you can write. And I took it upon my own and I said, okay, time to put the notebook down and time to start using the smart device. And that was only last year I started using the Word app and started writing in my phone. I'm using my smartphone device. At the end of 2 months or 3 months, I'll compile all of them together, email it to myself, you know, so it's safe. I never stopped writing. Imagine that a 26-year-old has a journal. But I would like to leave this with you all, though, that writing in a journal is not for female gender only and for young people only. It is for everyone. That is the purpose of a journal, for you to self-reflect on yourself at the end of the month, or the day, or the week. You can write 25 days for the week, leaving out Saturday and Sunday. You can write Sunday to Monday. However you choose to write, you go ahead. Have a journal, because sometimes you want to pour out everything that happened to someone, but not everyone is willing to listen. So it's better you write it, or you type it, and you save that. And at the end of the week or the month, you reflect on that. You get to know yourself better, because you can make changes based on what you reread, what you wrote. And that's a really high self-esteem aim. Usually I tell young people, get a journal. You don't have to be a diary with a lock and key to hide it. Don't hide it. I mean, you have to be proud of yourself to show your journal. Hey, I have a journal at the end of the day, and when I read it, I reflect back on what I wrote, because you know what? I know myself mentally and physically, so I know my own strengths and my own weaknesses. And don't let nobody discourage you, especially when you have a journal and they're making fun of you. Let them make fun. Don't let people bring you down. If you know a journal is going to help you along the way, then continue writing. To the young people who have, you know, who have dreams and all these little hopes, don't give up at all. Never, ever, ever give up. Because when you give up, that's defeat. You must somehow find your motivation to show your persistence in what you love to do. And I want to encourage you all, everyone, to have a journal. It doesn't matter how big or how small, You can decorate it, doodle it, you can add pictures and whatever you want in your journal. But it's a boost of encouragement because it's going to open you up more. It's going to let you know yourself better. You are going to love yourself more for who you are. And that's what writing in a journal did to me. It opened up my peripheral. And that's one thing I love to tell people, because not everyone asks me about, you know, how did your writing history start? Who was the person behind it? But it was actually my standard 3 teacher, Miss Natasha Romeo. She opened that peripheral for me, and I will never forget that, because of her, I am what I am today. And you know, when people ask that question, I light up like the 4th of July, or like, you know, this kid who always wanted this surprise gift or something he always wanted, and he finally got. That's me, because I'm never ashamed to share this story with anyone. But today, you all are very lucky for me to open up to you all now the World Wide Web, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, even my blog, to share this information with you all, because it's really a lovely journey, and I'm never going to stop writing, especially in a journal. And poetry is my passion and my love, and it expresses who I am deeply. But guys, next week for sure, I'm definitely going to whip out my old journal books and my poetry books, if I can find all. And I am going to give you a little tour of what it looked like at Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, going up the road to now, what my writing was all about. And you know, I love sharing this, so I don't want anyone to feel discouraged. But if you get any source of motivation from me, I am going to keep motivating you. I'm going to keep enlightening you of what my journey was all about. So next week, be prepared, because I am definitely going to give you a little tour of my journal books. It all adds to the writer's history, how it started, and it will be a continuation of this video today. But guys, don't forget to follow the Facebook page, like and follow the Facebook page, The Elements of Life. You can follow me on Twitter, VR Leonard Author, the Instagram page, The Elements of Life Info. You all can check out my website, of course, www.theelementsoflifeinfo. And I mean, there is a lot of stuff coming soon, so I don't want to discourage you all with long, lengthy videos, but I definitely want to keep motivating and enlightening people who knows me. And you know, you can share this video with people and let them know the videos, the vlogs, also. So guys, have a nice day, and I really do appreciate you watching this video. Do keep good, do keep positive, always. I forget the judgmentals and the naysayers. They are not important. Bye.